There's no bleeps there. I mean,
Nope.
if I drop an F-bomb, I'm sorry.
Oh, I think
okay.
I did it earlier.
Yeah.
I definitely said shit.
Hello, friends. We are live again at the Women in Automotive Conference in Colorado Springs at the Cheyenne Mountain Resort. It is absolutely beautiful here. And if the sun wasn't so glary, we'd be able to show you the background, but you can't see it through the glass anyway on the camera. But it is absolutely beautiful here. I am Jess.
I'm Shasta.
And this is Kate. I'm going to try to pronounce it. Bierowski.
She nailed it. Nailed it.
Yes, I did it. With Repair on Demand. Kate, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
How are you doing?
I am doing well. This is my first Women in Automotive conference. So it has been fun, exhausting, emotional, all of the things.
All
Very
the things.
emotional.
Like,
Oh my gosh.
it's crazy the emotions that are coming out today and the topics that are being discussed today.
And the vulnerability.
Yes.
Can't say that word, but that word.
Yes.
No, you nailed it.
And I feel like there's two words that keep coming up, and it is intentionality and authenticity.
Yes.
Throughout this entire conference, I have heard those two words frequently.
Yes.
So far, what has been your favorite session or keynote?
I'm going to say my favorite session was not a session. It was dinner.
Okay.
And it was intimate. It was 8 girls and Fred. So Fred, we've had some gentlemen there, but honestly, dinner of getting to actually know and being authentic, being very vulnerable, learning everyone's story and what everyone else has to offer. Because we're in a room with a couple hundred people and you can hear part of what they have to offer, but not really getting into it. So that was my favorite.
Whose dinner did you go to?
Audra's.
Oh, Audrey.
Ooh,
Audrey.
yeah.
McKinley.
Oh,
Yes.
she's.
That
I was
is
jealous of that. Hers was
lovely.
booked up by the time that we got on the list. I mean, we had a great time.
We had a great time with
dinner.
Gary.
He's absolutely freaking hilarious.
hilarious.
I
He
love
is
him.
awesome.
And we had a huge group there that we actually grew some other people who ended up showing up that weren't on the list, and so that was cool. And then we ended up with inside jokes afterwards, and
it was fun.
those
It was
were
a lot of
so
That's
intimate.
the best
and nice.
part, I
Yes.
think, is like getting to know people on a one-on-one basis, getting to understand their stories and shocking stories, like shocking things shared and just understanding each other. It was amazing.
We're still new again at being live
we
again.
haven't
So
been
we
live
have
in like a year.
doing the screens are different. So that's part of being live, guys. Yep.
You get what you
Being
get.
real and authentic today.
Yeah,
Authentic
there we go.
today. I love it.
Authenticity.
I love it.
There's no bleeps there. I mean,
Nope.
if I drop an F-bomb, I'm sorry.
Oh, I
It's
think
okay.
I did it earlier.
Yeah.
I definitely said shit.
So how long have you been with Repair on Demand?
6 months.
Wow.
So it is new. But I've been in the automotive industry for about 9 years and I'm never leaving. I'm in it for
Right.
life.
Someone said yesterday that the reason why we stay in the automotive industry is because the oil gets in our blood.
I
I'm
love
like,
that.
okay, that
I'm
makes
never gonna let
sense.
that go.
Absolutely makes sense.
That makes
I love
sense.
that.
So we met you originally at the WIA social in Kansas City, which was super small, super intimate.
And still,
I want a
thinking about it
Stanley.
makes my heart so happy about the turnout for that
Yes.
event. It was just amazing.
Was that how you discovered women in automotive, or were you already kind of like socially connected?
Socially connected. A couple years ago when Veronica actually purchased Women in Automotive, I was at NADA when they announced it, and she doesn't know the impact of like social, and I'm like, I want to be a boss, like I want to be like Veronica, and I've always followed her on social media. I've gone through a couple job transitions, and I've always reached out to Veronica to see who does she know in the network, and trying to help land a job. And like I've always wanted to join. It was just more of having the support from a company to pay for this, because it isn't cheap to be able to go to something like this and being able to ask and be able to join. And that was one thing. So I joined 6 months ago. Part of me talking about my new job is I want to go to these events. I want this to be a part of my role. And they said, absolutely go. And it has never been a doubt. So I actually went to Kansas City. I'm from Wisconsin. You will get probably a couple opes out of me before the end of this. But I'm not from there, but I made a customer visit. I was able to attend, and then coming out here, being able to attend and just sit here and enjoy it and learn and soak it in.
I love that. And I love it even more because Robin Wilson is our CEO. And what she always says is that men will have, 60% of the credentials that they need in order to apply for a job. But women can have 100%. and
Over 100%.
or over 100%, and they still will not go do the thing.
And we're still nervous.
And it's amazing. And what you said made me so happy, because not only did you go do the thing, but then you set your expectations and you said, this is what you will do if you want.
This is what I want in my career, and
Yes.
I want to develop, and I want to be like Veronica. Come on in. I want to be like so many of these ladies, and I have really big goals and aspirations, and I want to go after them.
What is it that you do at Repair and Demand right now?
So I am a sales director for our inspection division.
Okay. And
What does that mean?
So right now I am running all of our new sales, as well as handling all of our current clients, managing relationships, helping grow our business.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
It's fun. I like it a lot.
Like, that's our jobs combined.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
We're growing, and it was actually really cool. April of this year versus last year, we grew 80% year over year.
Whoa.
And like, that's not me. I'm maintaining relationship. Is the team?
That is you.
No, the team we have is incredible. Like what our operations team is able to do, run lean. It's been really fun to be a part of that. And I mean, we have so much growth potential. It's really fun.
So much of, what we've discovered is that sales heavily relies on client retention. And so being able to retain after you've grown that much, it's not an easy task to do at all. Like,
No, and I'm the new girl coming in. I don't have the warranty background or the inspection background. I have a fixed ops background, and I love fixed operations, but being able to go in and own the relationship or own mistakes we've made in the past of, hey, I'm the new girl coming in and you've got to trust me. So
right. How did you get into the auto industry?
On accident, like everyone.
Everybody's on accident.
So I actually came from the diesel side. I worked at a trucking company for 6 years. And then it's funny, LinkedIn and networking is the biggest thing. My college roommate's cousin's husband owned a company, and I took a job, and it was a stretch job. I don't know if I was necessarily ready for it, but I took it and I rocked it. I worked for a tech company for about 5 years in technicians and helping dealerships attract and retain techs. And worked there for 5 years. It was an amazing opportunity, and I've been in it ever since.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
It reminds me of Jenna talking to us yesterday, and how the universities are starting to have classes for people in junior high going into high school. Having them learn about the auto industry and all the different careers there are. And that's,
I had no idea.
Right. No. That's something that when I got into the industry, I'm pretty sure didn't exist. Like the vocational college that I went to had a class 4 techs, like basic level technician stuff, but there was nothing for the marketing side, for sales. Like, you just walk in off the street and they teach you how to be a salesperson. Like, there's it didn't exist.
My initial persona of like understanding what it meant to work in a dealership was like Matilda's dad at a used car dealership lot. Like, that was sketch. Like, honestly, and I know that is a terrible,
God, that's so funny.
But that is like a terrible connection. But like, that is like, everyone's like, oh, it's a CC car salesman, or it's like, oh, they're going to rip you off at the shop to get your car fixed, or you can't trust anybody and it's a bad job. Like, that was my initial impression of the industry, and never did I think I was going to work in it. And I love it. It is so much more intricate than what you think. It's connected. It is so smart. You have to be so smart to work in this industry. Like, it is, I'm in love with the automotive industry.
And you never really stop learning. It's kind of what I figured out. Like, because there's always new opportunities to learn, and things change on the freaking daily, if not more. And so you always have to be on your toes and ready for the next thing that's coming, so that you can stay an expert in what you do.
Absolutely. I mean, we're behind already because we've been sitting here talking for 4 minutes. So
what has been your biggest takeaway from so far into the conference? And I know that we're only on really the full day of day 2 before we have our last half day tomorrow, but up until today, what has been your biggest takeaway?
Everyone is going through something.
Oh my God. Yes.
Like, again, like, I am utterly shocked by like the vulnerability and what I'm coming here, and I have my own life going on, but so do you too. So do every single woman in there, that they've had to have a challenge to get here. They had to leave family at home, that they have an expectation that, it was funny. Kathleen Long posted a picture on LinkedIn yesterday, and she's like, yeah, everyone, I had a coworker once say that you just go and have fun and hang out with your friends all day when you go to these conferences. It's like, no, this networking is impactful. You are learning, you're bringing this back to your organization, and everyone has something, everyone has a battle to get here, and no one knows what everyone's going through.
Absolutely. And I think that you know, there's still so much pressure on women that are moms to be at home and be with their kids. And, you know, it's not the dad's job to stay at home with their kids. And like, that's a hard thing, man. Like, that's hard as a mom to have like that weight on your shoulders and that stigma around, oh, you're going to a conference and you're leaving your kids for 5-6 days. Like, what are you thinking?
So I have, I think, an amazing background with my husband, and we have very opposite roles in our household. So my husband is a teacher. So he works in a female dominated, he is an elementary school teacher at that. We have 2 kids. They're 6 and 9, awesome kids. But guess who's home more than I am? Guess who is the main, like, I'm going to say breadwinner of our family, which again, it's funny, we don't even talk about that ever, but I travel over 50% of my role. I am gone. And it's funny, I get the judgy looks of like, oh, where's mom this week? Or I get, when we lived not at the school he's at now, but I had to present to my senior vice president. I was really young in my career and I was so excited, but then I got a call from daycare saying our kid was sick. And so I called the school to say, hey, Justin needs to go get our daughter. And the secretary's like, well, aren't you the mom?
Oh,
I said, bitch, I didn't say it, but I was thinking, bitch, please. Like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, no, I was young and I was not that confident, but I'm like, why are you guilting me right now? Because he's 20 sick days he never uses. He's a dad and he can take she had a billion ear infections. I'm like, it's an ear infection. What's new? I'm like, he can handle that. Like, why does that have to be on mom? And I think if I've learned anything, like if I had a kid today, I'd be very, very different. And what that expectation is that like, I can go to work, I can kick ass, I can have a career, and my husband's kicking ass at his career, and we promote each other. We share it. When I'm home, I'm like, please go out with your buddies, go have a beer, go get a drink, like go do your thing. But also like, if I have to go to a girls' weekend right after I travel, I don't feel guilty. We don't guilt each other. And it's a balance. And I think everyone needs a partner like that. But like, don't feel guilty as a mom. Stop the mom guilt. Stop. Stop.
I need to introduce my husband to your husband.
It's a challenge. It took us years to get there.
And truly, my husband is so supportive. Like he really won't complain. He won't anything. You know, he does anything that I need him to do. He helps me out. He understands everything that we're doing here and what, you know, we're coming here to make a difference in the industry. And he is a supporter of it too. So I'm extremely lucky to have him in my corner. And my mother-in-law also helps me out a ton.
Yes.
So that's awesome.
Thank God for good mother-in-law.
Yes.
Can't relate.
You're live.
Shit, this is
I do. I have a wonderful mother-in-law that's very supportive, or she'll travel and come home and help my husband and stuff. So,
good.
But if anyone's here, like, don't have mom guilt, like be proud of your career. And it's 2024.
Absolutely.
They can change a diaper. They can take the kids to school.
They're just as much of a parent as we are. Like,
Absolutely. And it's not 50-50. It never will be. Sometimes it's 75-25 for us. And sometimes it's opposite. I tell him he's literally hiked the mountain behind us. Like and I'm like, go for a week, go off grid. I've never turned my phone off when I'm gone from the kids, but take your phone off. Like, go. I don't care.
That's amazing. And I love that. And do you have a girl or boy? Both?
I have both. So a girl and a boy. So my daughter is a little mama. So she takes care of the house when I'm gone.
Love that.
How old are they?
Much.
6 and 9.
6 and 9. Would you ever, what if your daughter wanted to get into the automotive industry?
Hell yeah.
Hell yes. I love that.
I'm paving the way. We are all paving the way for them.
So have you heard about Jenna Smith's full tank camp?
No.
That's amazing. So in 8th grade.
It's really hard not to look at you, by the way.
I know. In 8th grade.
We're live.
After your kids in 8th grade, or they are just finishing 8th grade, going into high school, they can go to a summer camp at Northwood University for 5 days or a week, and they will teach them everything they need to know, get them into the business world, into the automotive world.
Awesome.
And it's super cool. Like she was just telling me about it yesterday. We had a great conversation about it. It sounds like a really neat opportunity. And I told her, I said, if my daughter wants to pursue that or even considers pursuing that, I would have no problem sending her to a camp like that, because I think it's so important in developing them and just trying to figure out if it is what they want to do. And if it's not, fine.
Yeah.
But what a great way to get them out there.
Yes.
Get them introduced to the real world.
That's important. I think like for my daughter to see that like my husband and I have this relationship, but also for my son to know like it doesn't have to be that typical I'm macho man, I'm this, but like I want them to have those opportunities, and like even changing the mindset of ours. You guys both have kids, right?
Yes.
Do you want them to go to a 4-year school?
if they want to.
If they want to.
Most parents will say yes. And like, that is a thing that we need to change because our parents beat it into us that we need to go to a 4-year school. I joke, I'm still paying my undergrad off. I paid for my master's degree, but I am still paying my undergrad every single month. It's $232. It's such a pain in the ass. But like, I don't think I needed either of my degrees to get where I am today. I think it helped from like being like willing to work hard and everything. But like the knowledge my master's is in change management, which I don't know.
Does that have anything to do with what you're doing right
now? No. Well, I mean, I do use some of like the philosophy and stuff, but like you don't need it. If my kid wants to become like a technician, I mean, it's an engineer. Like nowadays, these technicians,
you can learn so much more online.
Yes,
and nowadays
you don't
the
need
trades are paying more than what you're going to school for 4 to 8 years for.
Most people don't realize that technicians make 6 figures. Good technicians do. Like it is an absolute,
especially right now when there's such a shortage of techs, and dealers are very competitive right now.
That is what I focused on at my startup company for 5 years was helping solve the mechanic shortage. It is so challenging. So I'm very passionate about the fixed
solution for this in the future.
No, I mean that hurts my heart to say that. Like I don't think enough people want to fix it. And most technicians would not tell their kids to go to school to be a technician because they're not treated fairly. It is a dirty job. It is hard. It is physically laboring. I don't think a lot of people they don't promote it. And I'm not saying it's a bad career by all means. We need them. I can't fix my car.
Right.
I mean, I can plug in a device and see an error code, but I don't know what that means. And we need more technicians. I just don't think that, I think everyone is trying to solve the problem and no one's coming together to do it.
So what's the answer for us today that are sitting down and looking at the future of automotive and saying, we want this to stop here. We want to make this better for the generation coming behind us. What do we do? What ball do we get rolling to put something in motion to say, how do we fix this problem that's been a problem for so many years?
I mean, I think it's so beyond just us. It is everyone in the industry has to get together. The company I worked for absolutely wants to solve that problem, but we need the manufacturers to fix it. They need to change how they do warranty work. We need the dealers to appreciate the technicians and their roles. There's a lot about the right to, Right to Work Act or whatever, of being able to have independent repair shops. Like we can't eliminate those. And there's so much going on in the industry and it all impacts technicians. When you joined your job, did you have to buy anything to be able to start working there? Any equipment? Okay. Do you know technicians, like they're giving away Sonic Tools, it's giving away that $6,500 tool set. That isn't even enough really for a technician to start their job. They need $10,000 to $20,000 worth of tools and no one pays for that. So like there are just so many barriers to entry. There are so many challenges in the industry for a technician and they all leave because they start out making $15 an hour changing oil. I can work at Quick Trip, a gas station, making $20 an hour.
Right.
I mean, why would I want to enter that? So there are so many things from the OEM level, the dealership level, to the parents telling their kids, don't go be a technician. You're a grease monkey. That's a bad job. There are so many aspects that I don't know if it'll get fixed, which is sad. I desperately wanted to, but we need the industry to change.
That's interesting. And it's definitely kind of leaving us with something to chew on and think about as we move into other interviews today too. What is one piece of advice that you would give anybody, male, female, young, old, coming into the industry today?
So they didn't prep me for this, and this is live. Being open-minded to change of like, it doesn't need to be done the way it's always been done and challenge it. I mean, really, just because we've done one thing one way for the last 40 years, there are new ways to do things. There are smarter ways to operate. There are eliminations we can do to help make their jobs easier. Why make it harder than it needs to be?
Right. Love that. Kate, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to sit down with us. We
Absolutely.
Really, really appreciate it.
Fun.
We've had a whole bunch of fun. We've had great conversation.
Got our gears turning.
I know. I'm thinking.
I could talk about this for hours. So
I love it so much.
We need to put you up on a stage.
Where can people connect with you?
Look at your face.
Again, we're live. I am professionally, I'm on LinkedIn a lot. I have posted a lot of videos. I post a lot of content. I posted yesterday because I was very inspired by Portfolio in their numbers with women. And I'm like, look at your company, look at your leaders. What's the percentage? And like, our company has work to do. And I'm not afraid to say that. I think almost every company does. And like, it just motivates me to change it. So LinkedIn, follow me on LinkedIn. I post a lot.
All right. And then your name is Kate
Bierowski
on LinkedIn. All right, guys. All right, without further ado, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. You never know what battle somebody else is facing. So whenever you go out into the world this week, remember to light it up. Thank you for tuning in today. I am Jess.
I'm Shasta.
And this is Kate, and we are the Chicks in Charge.
Yay, you've made it this far. And if you want to help the chicks out and add some value, make sure you subscribe right now.
Click that little red button down below. Do it. Do it now.